Amid continued feeble performance at the Asian Games, Nepali men's cricket team have done the country proud as they bettered 4 major new world records among several others while playing against Mongolia this morning. The country's cricketing team have continuously proven their mettle in the international platform, highlighting the need to give more priority to the sporting sector. Good evening, I'm Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Nepal set up 4 major world records among others in the T20 International against Mongolia at the Asian Games. Pushpa scored the fastest T20I century. Dipender Singh Airi scored fastest 50. The world celebrates Tourism Day today. Tourism businesses back home say visitors' length of stay remains low despite an increase in the number of international tourists. Mid-July 2022, Nepal has received foreign investment from 57 different countries. India ranks top with 88.6 billion rupees, followed by China. And a New York judge rules former US President Donald Trump committed fraud by repeatedly misrepresenting his wealth by hundreds of millions of dollars. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who is on an 8-day visit of China, has reached Tibet. A Chinese team had welcomed Premier Dahal as he landed Gongar Airport in Lhasa. During his Tibet stay, Premier Dahal will meet with Wang Junzheng, the head of the Tibet Autonomous Region Party Committee of the Communist Party of China, and will also attend a dinner hosted for him. The Prime Minister's delegation will also visit Mansarovar and Kailash Parvat during their stay before returning home on Saturday. Nepal is celebrating World Tourism Day today by organizing various programs across the country. Tourism entrepreneurs, however, say their businesses are still struggling as the length of stay has remained low despite an increase in the number of international tourists compared to pandemic times. Addressing a special program held on the occasion in the capital's Lalitpur, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Civil Aviation Sudan Kirati said Nepal had failed to adequately promote its religious, cultural and natural heritages in the international platform, adding that the country's tourism would benefit more by promoting Mount Everest, Lumbini, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, and Pashupatinath Temple, among others. On a different note, Minister Kirati informed that efforts were underway to improve Nepal's aviation sector and that the procurement of new aircrafts had reached its final stage. Nepal Rashtra Bank has published its survey report on foreign direct investment in Nepal in the fiscal year 2021-22. The report presents the latest data of FDI stock in Nepal and provides the estimates of inward direct investment position, or the FDI stock, at book value and country-wise as well as sector-wise distribution of FDI stock at the end of the fiscal year 2021-22. The survey shows that the stock of FDI in Nepal increased by 16% to 264.3 billion at the end of 2021-22. Paid-up capital was the major component in FDI stock as it accounted for 53.7% of total FDI stock, whereas the reserves and loans in total FDI stock accounted for 31.7% and 14.6% respectively. As of mid-July 2022, Nepal has received foreign investment from 57 different countries. In terms of total FDI stock, India ranks top with 88.6 billion rupees, followed by China with 33.4 billion, Ireland with 20.9 billion, Singapore with 16.1 billion, and St. Kitts and Nevis with 15.1 billion rupees. The industrial sector accounts for 62.6% of total FDI stock, while about 37.3% is in the service sector. The electricity, gas, steam and air conditioning sector, particularly hydropower sector in Nepal, has been a preferred sector for FDI in recent years. Non-resident Nepalese will have to wait for some more time to receive their citizenships, as the Home Ministry has said it will begin issuing citizenship certificates only after making some technical improvements in the softwares. Meanwhile, the Non-Resident Nepali Association (NRNA) has expressed grievance that the government is doing legwork to distribute mere ID cards as opposed to its demand for citizenships by descent. A decision by the Council of Ministers on the 21st of September had paved way for non-resident Nepalese and those without fathers to apply for citizenships through their mother. The Home Ministry has urged for some more time, saying that they need to add some features in the current software. Non-resident Nepalese can apply for citizenships through the District Administration Office of their district of origin and Nepali embassy in the country of their residence or the Office of Consulate General. They will need to be present physically at their concerned District Administration Office to receive the certificate. Apart from those based in SAARC nations, non-resident Nepalese will have to submit evidence that prove their parents or grandparents are or were Nepali citizens. NRNs, after getting Nepali citizenship certificates, will have rights to invest in Nepal, however will not have political rights like voting or standing as candidates during elections. The third amendment of the citizenship regulation has allowed for online application. However, the Home Ministry has clarified that online portal will take time to come into effect. The amendment comes 8 years since the promulgation of the Constitution, and the government still lacks a proper data on how many Nepalese have forfeited Nepal's citizenship. The NRNA has claimed the number at around 4 million. The Transport Management Office Kantipur has attributed the failure to provide smart driving license since past 1 year to the Department of Transport Management. The office has said that more than 11,000 have been waiting for their smart driving license since last year. The Chief of the Transport Management Office, Kantipur, Rajkumar Kapali, says that they have become helpless while the number of individuals seeking smart license has been increasing by 500 on a daily basis. In the meantime, the Department of Transport Management attributed the delay in printing smart license to technical issues and has said that printing process will be intensified soon. 3 years have gone by since the announcement of the 106 kilometers electric railway between Jhapa's Kakarvitta and Sunsari's Inarua. The project has, however, yet to kick off due to compensation issues. Locals in the region have met with departmental ministers and even prime ministers to release their lands if the project does not kick off. Based on the original plans for the first phase, 30% of those in Jhapa, Morang and Sunsari region whose land would be acquired were to be paid the compensation first. 3 years ago, the government had issued a 35-day notice to landowners in the region and demarcated their lands, prohibiting them from selling their properties. This has added more problems to those running businesses in the area, as some are having to continue to pay millions in loan installments of the businesses and unable to sell their lands to clear out the loans. The Office of the Railway Project had announced of beginning the compensation distribution from this year, however has cited lack of budget to do so. The Railway Department has estimated 24 billion rupees will be needed to provide compensation to landowners. So far, the government has allocated just around 1.5 billion rupees. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what do you think? Why do you think doctors were compelled to resort to protests demanding for security? Your options are A, result of weak security, B, result of lack of impunity, and C, lapses in their own services. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Chief Minister of Madhya Province, Saroj Kumar Yadav, has said political activities in community schools had degraded the quality of education in the province. Speaking at a program held to announce Jaleshwar municipality as literate, Yadav said that political influence had been increasing in community schools and students were less engaged in academic activities. This, according to Chief Minister, was also the reason for growing attraction towards private schools. 67.6% of the 63,802 population of Jaleshwar municipality are literate. The preliminary report submitted by the government of Nepal to enlist Tilaura Kot, a neighborhood in Kapilvastu municipality, as a World Heritage Site is to be presented at the UNESCO World Heritage Center. The committee formed for the same has decided to send the nomination to UNESCO by September 30th. The committee's meeting held on Wednesday has decided to present a strategic nomination draft prepared by international heritage expert Dr. Duncan Marshall to UNESCO. Efforts are underway to enlist Tilaura Kot as a heritage site by the year 2025. The ancient Shakya capital city, Tilaura Kot, is a revered Buddhist pilgrimage site where Siddhartha Gautama had spent his princely life before he became Buddha. Let's move on to international update. A New York judge has ruled that Donald Trump committed fraud by repeatedly misrepresenting his wealth by hundreds of millions of dollars. The ruling, part of a civil case brought against the former president and his family business, said he defrauded banks and insurers for years. It is a major blow to Trump that will likely hamper his ability to business in the state. Trump and the other defendants have argued that they never committed fraud. New York Attorney General Letitia James had accused Trump, his 2 adult sons, and the Trump Organization of inflating the value of their properties by more than $2 billion to suit the needs of their business. She claimed the defendants issued false records and financial statements in order to get better terms on loans and insurance deals and to pay less taxes. The scathing decision was issued by Judge Arthur N. Goron in the New York State Court after James asked for a summary ruling before the trial begins. She argued that finding certain facts to be beyond dispute would speed up the trial. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.